Alright, what's going on YouTube? GZTV, the first of two videos. You obviously know that we do 2 videos a day, we try. I'm probably gonna run out of fucking video shit to watch. I mean, I'll watch movies and stuff, but I can only do so much there. If I run out of content, I might start like Ozark or something like that in the background. I'm not really sure, but we're here with Dexter, the second episode of season 8. Either that or I'll just leave it at an episode a day so we can actually save some content. Travis Scott's dropping an album soon, so we have plenty of shit to look upon that with. But yeah. Every silver lining. So, Dexter's at Dr. Evelyn Vogel's house watching an old recording of Harry. So she has all the inside scoop. She's like showing him all this shit, how much she knows about him. They like crafted this monster apparently, you know. Evelyn reveals to Dexter that she helped create him. And I mean, yeah, of course, you know, she gave him all his techniques and all his methods of like dealing with this dark passenger, dealing with his psychotic self. He is a psychopath, like he is. When Dexter asks Evelyn why she is telling him all this stuff about him, she explains that she needs to call in a favor, seeing that she saved his life. And she's like esteeming herself. Oh my God, I saved your life. I mean, I hate when people do that, you know. They help you in a little way and ask for a handout. I mean, that's what how the world works now. And she needs Dexter to find this killer guy. When Dexter tells Evelyn that it's her problem, she lays a DVD on her desk and says, "This will help put things into perspective." Well, come on, don't tell me you're going to pass upon another piece of your history. Think about it, but don't take too long. Killer's out there, Dexter, and I don't mind admitting I'm afraid of what's coming next. So Dexter takes the DVD and decides, you know, I'm going to help this girl because she's giving me insight on a past that I never really like knew fully of. You know, Dexter knows that there's something wrong with him. He's not just some ordinary man walking around going through the motions, like, you know. In an unknown place, Lyle Sussman suffocates Leonard Welks with a bag after telling him that he doesn't have a choice, and Lyle Sussman is who we figure out to be the brain surgeon. So it's interesting that storyline is kind of closing early, you know, because we all know what happens later on in the episode. Back in his apartment, Dexter watches the DVD, which is of Harry and a later session with Dr. Vogel, you know, kind of another conversation that they're having with each other. You know, they're discussing people he killed, discussing the first time he used photos of the victims at the kill room and all this stuff. Dexter realizes that Dr. Vogel is a window to his past, but he is torn about helping her. Like, there's some pros and cons to this. Like, I mean, there's parts of his past that he wants to know more about, but at the same time, there's parts of his past that he wants to forget about, you know? Deborah reports back to her boss, Jacob Elway, and falsely denies knowing who murdered Andrew Briggs, even though obviously her brother did it. He's got to cover his ass, you know? So she finally gets back to the Elway investigation place that she's working at now and, like, giving him a report on it. Leonard Welks' body is found in a skate park with a section of his brain removed, the same as Robert Bailey. There's a bag at the crime scene. Dexter finds it, and again, he finds something at every crime scene that's kind of leeway for him to get to whatever before the police do, because he feels like they need to be killed, you know, not put in prison, not punished. They need to be killed off the earth. Dr. Vogel shows up at the skate park and tells Dexter that another delivery appeared on her doorstep. So each time, you know, these killings are taking place, she's getting these deliveries of brain sections. Despite the yellow crime scene tape over the door, Deborah and Elway break into Andrew Briggs' apartment to conduct an investigation. They have a key to his place, so it's not like they're breaking and entering. I mean, yeah, he probably wouldn't permit them to doing so if he knew they were investigation people, but he's dead, so no one can really punish them or, like, look through their code of conduct. You know, they hope to learn the location of the storage unit where the jewelry was being ready to get sold. Elsop was following her, all this stuff. They find the storage container. Yeah. Evelyn joins Dexter in his lab when he runs the fingerprints from the plastic bag through AFIS. You know, he's trying to find who did this killing so he can find more about this guy, track him down, and kill him. You know, he left fingerprints at the scene. it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah, they continue to kind of talk and all this stuff. The computer beeps and the name Lyle Sussman pops up. And he just keeps the name in mind. He's obviously not going to put this in his report, and Evelyn sees this and realizes this is how he kills so many people and gets away with it. Because, for unknown reasons, by the department, he finds people that have committed crimes and has proof of it, and he kills them. And it's really unusual for criminals to go down like that, you know? Coincidentally. Vince Masuka knocks at the door and asks if he's interrupting them. And he asks if they found a print. Dexter acts like he has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And like, oh, you know, there's a race. Even though Dexter already won the race. And Vince Masuka is no better at the job than Dexter is. Not even close, seems. As Dexter hastily gets up to leave, he asks Evelyn why she thought it strange that he needed someone to talk to when Harry died, you know. Kind of using her as a counselor. Because, like, he's very confused about what's going on here. Dexter breaks into Lyle Sussman's house. There's really, after a search, Dexter finds nothing of interest, and the dying houseplants indicate that Sussman hasn't been there in a while. He's been kind of out venturing around, Yeah, he has this cabin out in the woods by Lake Nona. So there you go. Meanwhile, Deborah locates the... Well, it's funny because people actually pull up to this house because they found the print from Masuka, I think, and Dexter was there. So that's happened a couple of times. They're starting to catch on to Dexter's plans, and I guess that kind of signifies that the show's getting ready to come to an end. Deborah locates the unit and finds the stolen jewelry in a drawer, and obviously she thinks she has it. El Sapo shows up. They have this altercation. He doesn't want to kill her because he doesn't get paid to. And, yeah, he gets a cut on his face, he takes her gun, seems like he's going to go away peacefully, but we find something crazy later on. There's a very interesting way of revealing that Dexter shot and killed this guy. It's kind of wild. But, yeah, Angel asks Quinn why he hasn't taken the sergeant's exam, and says he better start taking his career more seriously if he's going to be dating his sister, putting a lot of pressure on him. Like, why would you even date Jamie? Because, A, you work with this guy, and B, we've learned that Angel's a fucking hard ass. Angel and Quinn visit Lyle Sussman's mother and stress the importance of finding her son, though they don't say why. They don't want to reveal to her that he is a killer, obviously. She's like, oh, why would you want to find him? She doesn't know he's killed a lot of people. Miami Metro arrives at the storage facility's parking lot where a man's body is found inside a car. They get a call that El Sapo got shot in his car, and they don't know he's like a hitman or anything. They're going to run like his identification and stuff, but yeah. He was shot in the head, and Javier Guzman, El Sapo. Like, they reveal who he is. Dexter knows that El Sapo is the hitman who is after Andrew Briggs and worries that Deborah might be in danger. 2 guns are found in the car. No one knows that or realizes that one of them belongs to Deborah, and Dexter kind of notices this blood. Yeah. Evelyn is on the phone with Dexter demanding to know why he's not on the way to Sussman's cabin. Like, this guy needs to be fucking taken care of. Dexter says he has super important things to do, and, Deborah's in trouble and all this stuff. Upon arrival at Deborah's beach house, Dexter finds the patio door off the track, empty beer bottles thrown about, and Deb passed out on the couch, obviously fucking exhausted with her day. Maybe she took some drugs, maybe everything's a fucking blur right now to her, and I don't know. She doesn't know what the hell happened. While Deborah struggles to sit up, Dexter notices bruises on her side and asks what happened, and he realizes, she was in an altercation with this guy at the storage unit. She explains everything. Deborah asks Dexter to stop caring about her, but he says, Deb, I'm your brother. You can hate me if you want, but it doesn't change the fact that I care about you. And yeah, Dexter's a good-ass brother. I mean, we've seen it throughout the series. He's vouched for her to get in a homicide. He's vouched for her, to get her detective shield, all this stuff, It's a late night when Dexter finds Sussman's cabin. There's a table of knives he finds, hunting equipment, a metal chair that possibly had a victim in it. You can hear like noises, and then Sussman's dead, hanging from a meat hook. Yeah, and it's like, was this guy really the one that was the brain surgeon? Dexter returns to Evelyn's house and tells her that he found Sussman murdered. He gives her kind of the verdict on the situation. Maybe his accomplice killed him. The killer, but she seems to think that a lot of the killers, like psychopaths like this, do shit alone. I'm gonna hop on Fortnite here in a little bit. Yeah. Evelyn mentions to Dexter that he has a hard time admitting when he's wrong because people like him have an inherent need to be right, to feel superior, to have control. That's like kind of what we learn about Dexter anyway. When Evelyn asks what's going on with Deborah, Dexter replies that it's between him and Deb, and she doesn't really need to know about it. It's all right, Quinn is distracted by his cell phone when Jamie enters his car. They kind of have this whole argument, and she realizes that Batista kind of ruined their relationship a little bit. Jamie slams the door. She enters the house. Talks to Angel like, what the fuck are you doing with our relationship? Dexter tests the blood he collected from El Sapo's car, and to his surprise, it turns out to be Deb's blood, and he realizes that she probably killed El Sapo, The homicide department takes notice when Deborah shows up, and it's kind of interesting. They kind of have a reunion with her. There's so much shit in this episode. Angel asks why she's there, and Deb says to answer Quinn's questions about a case that she was involved in. Quinn walks Deborah to the briefing room in the hope that she can open up some leads because they've hit a wall. Who the hell killed this El Sapo guy? As Deborah looks through the El Sapo crime scene photos, she suddenly has memory flashes and begins to gasp, and that's probably going to give some of them suspicion that she might have killed this guy. Dexter takes Deborah out to the alley and informs her that he knows she killed El Sapo, having found her blood at the crime scene, and they realize they need to be cool about this. They don't want to give anyone any ideas, and they're going to have to swap evidence again. Dexter tells Deborah that she could have called him, but she scoffs that he's the one who got her into trouble, not out of it. Deborah admits that the gun found in El Sapo's glove box is probably hers because she obviously, she was doing a case. Naturally, she had to struggle with the guy. And she talks about this, blah, blah, blah. As Dexter watches her walk away, he thinks, whoever Deb was before killing LaGuerta, that person is dead. I just wish I knew what's taken her place. Dexter decides to switch out Deborah's guns to protect her so they don't find it and realize that it's Deborah's and that she's a murderer. She probably has a reason to murder him out of self-defense, but Dexter wants to keep her out of that legal shit. Angel throws a party at Papa's Cafe, but Deborah doesn't attend. All this stuff happens, blah, blah, blah. Evelyn arrives home to find the front door open. She thinks, someone's after her, blah, blah, blah. Dexter gets there. No one's there. Someone left a DVD, footage of Sussman smothering Welks and the true brain surgeon shooting Sussman in the head. So now we know that the brain... I wasn't really that interested in this episode, but now we realize that the brain surgeon isn't Sussman. Dexter condemns himself for being wrong about Sussman and for destroying Deb. He glumly calls himself a mistake. Evelyn assures him that he's exactly what he needs to be. She hugs him and calls him perfect, and now we see that these two are probably going to have a bonding thing. But I don't really have anything to say. I gotta go. This has already taken long enough. I have another YouTube video. I'm probably going to eat dinner